Hello and welcome to another The Reasons I'm Broke Let's Play Pokemon TCG Online. I'm Daniel, one of the hosts on the weekly The Reasons I'm Broke podcast, found right here on YouTube, also on iTunes, Stitcher, and basically any podcatcher you may have out there. So we're going to go in and use Gengar today, our Gengar Chandelure combo, as we go into the expanded format play here. We've got expanded setup and we've got our deck for Gengar Chandelure. The versus ladder did get reset. That goes on for 9 days. And let's see if we have any luck with our deck today. I do have some very special booster packs to open up at the very end. The Pokemon Generations booster packs. Huge thanks to Mike. He actually gave me the codes, and I'm really excited to open those today. So they're going to call the flip right now. And looks like we did lose the coin flip. They're going to choose who goes first. First opponent is Wilder Tackle. And I didn't get a chance to see what kind of deck they had, but as you can see, the animations are a little bit speedier this time with the latest update. And right now they are choosing. We did start off with a full art Gengar, Hump in the Air Gengar, and then we've got the regular Poke You in the Eye Gengar that will sit on the bench and be set up. So right now we don't have any basics yet, but it looks like they will be going first, and there's the 6 prizes. Alright, so it looks like we're going up against a fighting deck. They've got 2 of the Pokemon League exclusive Haluchas on the bench. Doesn't show it up when you zoom in on it, but from right out here you can see the slight small logo at the bottom right hand side of the card. And those you can only get at Pokemon Leagues. Those you can search up on Pokemon.com, go to Event Finder, and you can find any local leagues in your area. When you go there, you do get the chance to earn special cards that have that logo on them, but also special codes to use on Pokemon TCG Online. Different leagues do different things. Some of them set up tournaments. I know for mine I do an end-of-the-month tournament. And it's a good time. It's a lot of fun, all ages. There's the Fighting Fury belt. That has been seen all over the place. It's very playable. Almost in every competitive deck you will see the Fighting Fury belt. And let's see if I can pull it up here for Brokettes to take a look at. And we've seen it before. The basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 more hit points, and the attacks do 10 more damage. So it's almost like a muscle band, but you get the extra hit points. So let's go ahead and do Tierno and get 3 more cards. Hope for an energy. We do have 2 regular ones over here, but I did want to try to get a basic energy. Looks like we don't get it, but that's fine. We'll take what we can get, and we will go ahead and feed the Gengar. And we will Night Attack for 3 damage counters. Let's see. We will go after the Landorus, since that's the one they seem to be building up. 30 damage onto it. And with the Fighting Fury belt again, they do get 40 more hit points. So they do have more than 120 hit points on them right now. We've got 2 Chandelures on the bench. They're going to go with Shout of Power. We've got a Resistance, so it only does 10 damage. And that is the attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Here we go. We've got a Professor's Letter, so we can get 2 more basic energies. Let's pull those out. And based on what we pull here from the Tierno, maybe we'll get a Dimension Valley. Hopefully we'll get a double colorless energy. What do we get? There's a Dimension Valley right there. So let's go ahead and play that, and we'll poison up the Landorus right away. Let's go ahead and feed the Gengar EX and do a Dark Corridor attack. So there it is, 60 damage onto it. And we'll pull out the other Gengar, and that'll end our turn. So they are poisoned. That is going to hopefully slow them down a little bit. They might consider benching out onto the Halucha that's down here, but they don't have a basic energy on them yet, but they can attach if they'd like. And I'm assuming that's who they're going to start building up next. So there's the Ultra Ball. They're going to discard 2 cards from their hand to search for a Pokemon in their deck. And that will leave them with an empty hand after that. So they're not in too good of a position right now. There's a Lucario EX. Doesn't take too many energies, and it has given us some problems in the past. So let's see if that's who they end up retreating to. No, they go with Shout of Power. 10 damage onto the Gengar EX, and they take poison damage. And it's our turn. Alright, so we've got a Versus Seeker. Let's go ahead and get 3 more cards with Full Art Charon. Alright, let's go ahead and get that free retreat cost onto the Gengar EX. And retreat for free onto the Gengar with the energies on it. And we'll do a Dark Corridor attack. And that will be the knockout on the Landorus and our first prize. We'll put out the other Gengar with the energy once more. And let's pick out a prize card. Out of that, we get another energy. And there's their Halucha, the Pokemon League Halucha. The ability does damage from this Pokemon's attack is not affected by weakness or resistance. Flying Press to 60 damage. and it has to be used on a Pokemon EX. So it would not work on Chandelure, but it does work on EXs. So you did see that one pretty often when it first came out with the Furious Fist set. All right, we've got a couple of options here. Let's go ahead and fill up our bench with Pokemon Fan Club. And we'll get another Litwick and another Full Art Gengar, because you can never have too many Gengars. They are there for moral support, if anything. The deck is shuffled. I love that new animation on there for the deck shuffling. And let's put out the other Gengar also. Let's go ahead and feed the Gengar that we have out here. That'll set it all up. We'll save the Versus Seeker just in case we need to use Lysander twice. And we'll Dark Corridor the Hawlucha, 60 damage. We'll switch on over to the other Gengar that's all powered up with the poison that will knock out the Hawlucha. Alright, and another prize. This one ends up being an Energy Retrieval. Haven't had a Pokemon knocked out yet on our end, so don't have any energies to retrieve. They're going to go ahead and draw, and looks like an Acro Bike. They look at the top two cards of their deck, put one of them into their hand, and one of them is discarded, which they ended up discarding the Town Map. They're going to feed the Hawlucha, and they're going to do 60 more damage onto the Gengar EX. So that brings his total damage up to 70. Alright, we've got another special energy here. Let's go ahead and start feeding one of these little Litwicks down here. I have a feeling we should be able to draw up rare candies sometime soon now. Let's Dark Corridor and knock out the other Hawlucha. With the poisoning, bring out the other Gengar EX, switch on over. And there's the knockout. And this prize is a Professor's Letter. We're down to 29 cards in our deck. We're in good shape. All that's left is a Lucario EX, which now has the Fighting Fury Belt. Still can't attack us, though. Has no energies and no cards in the opponent's hand, so it is our turn. We end up getting a Mega Gengar EX. Let's go ahead and thin down our deck a little bit more and use up Professor's Letter. Get some more energies. And two of our Gengars are damaged up with 70 hit points, so now I'm going to feed one of our fresh Gengars. Let's go with the Full Art one. That one looks a little bit cooler. And we will poison up the Lucario EX. It does extra damage because it is weak to Psychic types. 120 damage on it. Switch on over to Gengar EX. It is poison. Now it's up to 130. And we should be able to knock it out with one more attack. Let's see if they end up conceding the match. There's the Battle Compressor. They're going to search for up to 3 cards and discard them, shuffle their deck afterward, and that's all they can do because they won't be able to draw from those. So they're going to pass, and we should be able to knock out the Lucario EX. There's the concede and the first victory today. Bonus Wheel gives you awesome rewards for playing the game. You can earn each of the special rewards once per day. Look at that new look to it. There's all kinds of updates going on here. I love it. Sound effects and everything. This looks great. Alright, so it looks like we got that one. And we also got 13 coins as well. And finish up there and jump into another match. Alright, congratulations. The items below have been added to your collection. We got a Roaring Skies booster pack. Beautiful. And we reached our first tier for the Versus rewards. And gets us 25 more coins. So that brings our total up to 2571. And we're heading on over to the reward chest. Another game, jump right in. I want to thank all the Brokettes that came on over from the podcast. Don't forget, we do have that in which we cover comics, movies, TV, video games, and more every single week. And whenever I do have a bit of extra time, I do like to do the Pokemon Let's Plays. So we ended up winning the coin flip, so we will go first. And this opponent looks like Robert ODBS, who uses Lightning and Colorless types. I love the avatar on him. He just put that weird beard on his face all over his eyes. I don't know if it's a mistake or if it was on purpose, but knowing a lot of these players, they have the special Charizard 20 sleeves, which you can get from the Charizard Generations packs. They look great, especially if you're running a Charizard deck. They look amazing. I can't wait till the Venusaur one comes out and also the Blastoise one. I'll probably end up getting one of each. Alright, here we go, and their first Pokemon ends up being... it's loading. Yeah, let's go ahead and in the meantime get a Gengar from the Great Ball. Shuffle up our deck. Don't have much to work with right now. I got to see what I have here. Dynamo, Charge Beam, flip a coin. Can't attack on the first turn. I don't want to waste the You know what? Screw it. I'm going to put the Rock Art on Little Litwick, and we are going to Professor Birch because we don't have any energies. We end up getting the heads. Awesome. So we draw up 7. Another basic. Alright, this kind of works a little bit better. We'll go ahead and feed the Little Litwick, and we will end our turn. Looks like these cards never loaded, and maybe that's part of the new update, but on the bench, they have another Dynamo, which has 40 hit points, charge beam, flip a coin if heads, attach an energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon for 10 damage. We can fill up our bench some more with the Pokemon Fan Club next turn. If Litwick is somehow knocked out, we always have the teammates we can play. Dimension Valley is definitely there to help. And of course, Charon will just get us 3 more cards in general, so that may end up being what I go with. Because we are trying to get Chandelures, we're trying to get rare candies. And there's their play. They're going to go with an Ultra Ball. And they're going to discard 2 cards and find a Pokemon from their deck. I know people love Ultra Balls, but Great Ball I prefer simply because you don't have to discard cards from your hand. And you just kind of take a chance on whatever cards are in those top 6. So I don't mind it too much. It's not too bad. I just don't like discarding cards. And I know some players don't mind. They play, not Professor Birch, but maybe it is Birch, where you discard the hand. It's definitely not Birch. It's one of the professors in which you discard your hand and you draw up a fresh hand of 7, which is a guaranteed 7, whereas the one that I just played, you have to flip, and if tails, you get 4 cards, if heads, you get the 7, so they like that guarantee, but again, you do have to discard your entire hand, and it works out sometimes. When you only have 1 or 2 cards, then it's not as big of a deal, or I've seen players where they'll play their entire hand, and then they'll save that last card and play it, and then they'll get 7 more. So they don't end up attaching any energies. We've got a Gengar EX now. I'm not going to use the fan club at this point. Let's go ahead and use Charon and see what we end up drawing from there. We've got a double colorless energy and regular psychic energy. Let's go ahead and save the double colorless. We'll go ahead and feed the Gengar EX. We'll save the Dimension Valley as well, and we'll just do the trip over attack. Tails, it only does 10 damage to the Dynamo. Alright, let's see what else they're going to play here. Just for the sake of using a supporter, we'll have to use the Pokemon Fan Club next turn. We'll just load it up with some Gengar EXs all up in the bench and simply hope for some rare candies and a Chandelure. If not, we are powering up the Gengar EX. It already has 1 energy. With the double colorless energy, we are set to go on that end. And of course, if they do end up knocking out Little Litwick, we can then play teammates. I don't know if anyone saw any of the regionals or anyone in the Florida area, but those are available on YouTube. They were streaming them on Twitch. On the Master side, some of my league players were saying that there were a lot of Night March decks for Masters. It was basically all Night March. Whoever can set up first wins, which doesn't sound like a good time, and maybe they'll do something different to change it up so that Night March isn't as playable. I'm not too sure, but with the juniors and the senior side, there were more varied decks, and you saw a higher variety as to what they were going to play with and use. I'm not going to use any energies right now. Let's go ahead and just do trip over attack. Yeah, we haven't played energies, that's fine. We end up getting the tails, so it'll just do 10 damage onto the Dynamo. They still haven't fed any of them with any energies, and they have not attacked. I think that Rock Guard is kind of keeping them back from wanting to attack Litwick. No supporters right now. Looks like they haven't knocked out anything. Just energies that we can play, which I do want to save. And they end up conceding the match. Sounds like there just wasn't much they can do. They weren't getting draw support, or they weren't getting supporters that they could use. There we go. So awesome. So we get a coin out of that one. And it's going to fill up our versus reward ladder a little bit more. Looks like we got time for at least one more. Let's see how quickly this next match goes. Alright, next opponent is Tebbytron, who uses fighting types, which we do have a resistance to. Waiting on them to load the game. Looks like they have the same avatar, so that's definitely a glitch, is what I'm thinking with the Pokemon TCG Online program. So it could just be that with an update they'll improve it and it'll have all the weird bug fixes that we've had. Let's go ahead and put out the Gengar EX, little Litwick, and of course the other Gengar. We do have a Chandelure here. We've got some energies, no supporters yet. And it looks like they didn't have any basics, so they're going to go ahead and redraw a new set of 7. They're going to shuffle their deck up. And let's see if they end up getting a basic that time. Looks like they do. And we'll have the option of drawing an extra card because they did mulligan. So we will take it, yes. And a Rock Guard, awesome. So they've got another Lucario EX. We went up against one of those earlier. They're going to attach the special energy on it, which does increase its attacks. Right here we've got a Riolu, and is that another one? Conceding the match also. Alright, what do we have this time? Oh, something different. So we got a bonus coin, and it should tell us right afterward what that bonus item was. And it is 4 tournament tickets. Awesome. I love it. I don't get enough of those. I only have 9 right now. And that was after getting the bonus. So that's awesome. I love entering the Pokemon TCG tournaments. And now we've also earned a tournament chest, or at least a reward chest, which we can open at the very end here, right next to the booster packs. Let's try to do one more and see if we can get a full match, as opposed to the conceits that we've been getting. A lot of times, too, with types, if they see that they have a weakness or a resistance, they'll just quit the match because they'll think that they don't have a chance of finishing. So here we have GatorFan08, who uses fighting types. And let's see if this one ends up loading. Again, this new update that they just rolled out with does seem to have some problems, so I guess we'll be back. If anything, I'll cut into the match if it does not load. And I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, here we go. We're going to go ahead and call the coin flip. We are going with tails. We lost. Let's see if they end up going first. Mega Gengar is laughing at us. You're on our team, man. Alright. And no basics that time, so maybe that's why Mega Gengar was laughing, because now we're going to be behind here. So they have a basic. Let's go ahead and get another set of 7. Shuffle those back into our deck. No basics again. Draw up another 7. And we do have 2 Litwicks, a Rare Candy, and a Chandelure. It's not bad. Not bad at all. We've also got a Rock Guard too, which always goes with the Litwick. So they're going to put down a Rhyhorn. They've got a Trainer's Mail they're going to play. We've got the Lysander we can use because the Rhyhorn down here does have 3 retreat costs, so that would slow him down a little bit. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'll probably drag out the Rhyhorn. They've got an Acrobike they're going to use. And then we'll save the Professor Birch until we can actually get the Chandelure out there. Assuming we don't end up drawing like a Charon or a Tierno next. Would love to put an energy on Litwick. Let's see if we draw up a Professor's Letter. They can't attack on the first turn, so they will end their turn and pass it on to us. Alright, so we don't end up getting an energy, but the Rock Guard should slow him down, theoretically. And we are going to play the Lysander and drag out the Rhyhorn. And unfortunately, that's all we can do. We don't have any energy, so we will end our turn. But we will have a Chandelure up and ready next turn. There's a Hawlucha EX. I love the artwork on it. I haven't seen too many of these used. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attacks, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So it's almost like a softer Rock Guard. The Moon Assault Stomp does 60. If there's any stadium card in play, this attack does 40 more damage. So it looks like that's all they ended up attacking with Dig Out. We've got a Versus Seeker we can use. Let's go ahead and evolve onto Chandelure. With the Rare Candy, now Litwick is a mighty Chandelure. straight out of Pokken Tournament. Let's go ahead and do Professor Birch. I don't know if anyone's played Pokken Tournament. Let me know what you thought of it. I haven't gotten a chance yet, and I know there's a demo coming out, which will let you play it. I was really happy when they said they were adding Chandelure on there, just simply because Chandelure is one of my favorite Pokemon, all because of the card game. Very quickly became one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and put the Special Energy on Chandelure. That's all we can do. So we will end our turn, and all we've got is a Mega Gengar EX on our bench, which if we don't end up drawing any energies or anything that could get us some draw support, I will simply Mega Evolve and start using their attacks if we're able to actually do any attacks like that. So they're going to use the Dig Out. And they just get the Gibble, which goes into the discard pile, so they kind of took the chance and hope that it's an energy. Again, no draw support, so we're just going to evolve into the Mega Gengar EX, and that will end our turn immediately. We have no hand, we've got no draw support, no energy, so Chandelure's kind of just hanging out there. If he is damaged, they will be damaged by the Rock Guard. So they're going to revive, bring back the Gibble. There it is. There's a Karina. Search your deck for fighting Pokemon and an item card. Reveal them and place them into your hand. So they end up going with the Machamp, the shot from underneath Machamp. And let's see what they end up doing with it. There's the rare candy. They've already got a Machoke on the bench. So they may wait and evolve it later, or they can try to do that this turn. There's the rare candy for the Gibble. Oh, no, there it is, Rhyperior. I did not see that coming. Look at that thing. Rock Blast, Triple Coin, another evolution right there. There's the Machamp. So what are they going to do? They can only do the Rock Blast. They've got the Muscle Band. They're also going to attach onto the Rhyperior. Flip a coin for each. Hold on. Resistance. It still does 70. They take 60 from the Rock Guard. Man, that was heavy. All right. That's not going to help either. All right, but we are going to have to start doing something because they're going to knock out our Chandelure here. So let's go ahead and feed the Gengar EX and end our turn. That's all we can do. It's unfortunate. Not the greatest start at all. Professor Birch did not help. Simply put down the energy to try to get the Gengar EX set up next turn. Maybe they just noticed that we have the Rock Guard. I don't know. That could be why they're trying to read the A-Spec card there. So reading their flip a coin for each fighting energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 50 times the number of heads. So there's a Tails and a Tails. 50 times 0 is 0. So we got really lucky. Chandelure lives another day. What do we get? Okay, so we do have an energy that time. We will be knocked out if they get even 1 heads, because that will bring it up to 140. They've got 60. So let's go ahead and feed the Gengar EX. Let's not take our chance, especially since we don't have a hand right now. We just kind of have to hope that we can attack with Gengar EX eventually. All right, Chandelure, you're holding the fort up there. If it was a double colorless energy, that'd be a different story. We'd probably knock out the Gibble that's sitting out there and then put the rest probably on the Hawlucha, if not the Machamp, which right now with the ability, each of your fighting Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent. So they've got 20, they've got the Muscle Band, there's a heads right there. So he's going to knock out our Chandelure, and we get a head, so we bring down the Rhyperior with us. Chandelure's like, look, I've done all that I could. It's all up to you, Gengar EX. And Chandelure is right. Let's go, Gengar. Out of those prizes, we do get, even got us an energy. Chandelure is the champ. Said, here you go, here's an energy. Now you don't have an excuse. Start attacking. And that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Our turn, and there's a Dimension Valley. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That worked out even better. So now we can attach the other energy onto the Mega Gengar EX, which gives us the free retreat cost. We'll do a Dark Corridor attack. 60 damage onto the Hawlucha EX. Yes, we will take damage from the ability. But we will switch on over to the Mega Gengar EX. We take 20. They take another 10 from the poison. They're up to 70 damage. So that brings down their total hit points to 60. They don't have any energies on it, so it doesn't look like they can attack quite yet. We've got the Mega Gengar EX that has the free retreat cost now because of the special energy. we're in much better shape now. And it's all because of Chandelure and that heads. Without that energy, we would not have gotten it. Love Chandelure. Again, one of my favorite Pokemon. Always comes through. It's all up to us, Gengar. We got to do it. I know you were laughing at me earlier with that coin flip, but hopefully that was not a sign of things to come. We've got the poisoning. We've got a Machamp that they're building up. They end up passing, so they take another 80. So it looks like they're just going to accept the knockout from Hawlucha. In that case, I am actually going to feed the... Let's go ahead and put the Muscle Band on... Who do we want to put it on? That Phantom Gate would work. Let's go ahead and put it on the Gengar EX that can actually attack. We're going to go ahead and retreat for free with the Mega Gengar on over to the Gengar EX, and we'll get 2 prizes with the Dark Corridor because we do need some draw support. So there's the knockout, 80 damage with the Muscle Band now. And they'll take another 20, so it brings that Gengar up to 40. And let's go ahead and get 2 more prizes. Because it wasn't EX, we do get a Teammates and a Rare Candy. So if we end up drawing a Chandelure, we can go ahead and evolve the Litwick that's been very patiently waiting there. Gible comes out. Let's see if they can evolve it. So they've got a Rhyhorn they just benched. And maybe that's... No, there's got to be more. Let's see what they end up doing. Because they could, if they have an energy, they can attack with the Machamp. And which they did. They put the special energy on the other Gible. So let's see if we see a Rare Candy. Nope. They're going to discard a card and draw up 2 as part of the attack. And it's our turn, so it looks like we're going to knock out the Gible here. There's some energies. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get some of those. So now we have the option. We can actually use Mega Gengar EX's attack. And let's see what we have here. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done to attacks. But let's go ahead and do the Machamp Crush. We're going to use their attack. Machamp Crush is going to come through. Phantom Gate uses any of the attacks on the opponent's side. There's the Crush, and that will be more than enough to knock out the Gible. And now any damage done to the Mega Gengar is reduced by 40. And we get a Versus Seeker out of that. Now that's actually pretty helpful now because we can... What do we have here? We can use the Lysander, we can get that back with the Versus Seeker, or we can try to use Professor Birch again. So they're going to go, we can knock out the Rhyhorn, it has 80. We could even knock it out with the Machamp Crush also, so... Not too worried here, but I could bring out the Machamp with the Lysander. Let's go ahead and wait and see what happens here. They're going to feed the Gible, give it a Muscle Band. So it looks like they're building that guy up next. There's a Lysander. It looks like they're going to bring out Little Litwick. No! Little Litwick. Out there all helpless. All right. So we're going to have to switch on over. Let's go ahead and retreat. Onto the Mega Gengar EX. And Phantom Gate again. Machamp Crush. Just enough to knock out the Rhyhorn. So we're down to 1 prize. And that one ends up being a Charon. There's the draw support right there. There's the Gible with the 2 energies on it. Let's see what they end up drawing. Maybe it's what they needed. Trainer's Mail, alright. Corina, so there you go. That may have been what they were waiting for. They're going to get the evolution to Gible. They might still have that Rare Candy, which they can actually even get the Corina with the Rare Candy. So let's see if that's what they end up doing. I was thinking of Lysandering out the Gible since that was clearly what they were trying to build up, but even still, we could knock out the Machamp with the double weakness if we drag that out instead. So I wasn't too worried about that. There's the Rare Candy right there. And if they place down the Gible, that could be another one we can target with the Gengar EX. So there's the Rare Candy they're going to play. And there's the evolution. Garchomp, Bite Off. Resistance, still does 200 damage. Holy shit, that is a lot. Alright, so we are going to win the match. Here we go. So let's... Versus Seeker, and they're going to see it coming. I think they're going to quit. Watch. Lysander, Machamp. Drag that out. It has a double weakness to Psychic types. Yes, we're going to attack anyway. And we're going to use its own attack against it, the Machamp Crush, for, with the weakness, 160 damage, and our final prize, and the game. There it is. Mega Gengar coming through. So check that out, Brokettes. We did not lose a match this time. The Chandelure, Gengar, and Mega Gengar were all firing on all cylinders. So let's go and open up some booster packs. Generations, as I said, I do have those. Once again, thanks to Mr. Mott. There's an energy or an Ancient Origins booster pack that we got from the wheel. We complete the next Versus Rewards ladder. And we've got a Bronzor and a Bronzong. Those do very well in steel decks. Alright, so collection. Let's go to packs. Alright, so first let's do the reward item. The uncommon chest. Open that right up. We've got 5 coins there. And the bonus card there is going to be a Carbink. Generations. Let's open up 4 of them, and then we'll open up the last 4 next time. Alright, what do we got? Love these Generations cards. If you guys haven't seen the unboxing we did for Generations, they're beautiful cards. Check these out. So we've got the Magikarp, Rhyhorn, Tangela, all new. Magmar. I love the artwork on it. I think it's a reprinting, but it's still beautiful. We've got the Gulpin with the charms right next to it. That's a newer design that they've been putting on them. Team Flare Grounds, could always use them. Awesome. The Meowstic. These energies right here are, this is a hollow dark energy from Generations. It's a little, there you can see right there as I move the mouse over, where you can see the hollow part of it. They're awesome. I've drawn a water one, I believe. I think it was a water one that was hollow, and they're beautiful. Again, players are trying to get these because they look great. And we've got a Doug Trio out of that set. Let's open up another Generations booster pack. Love Generations. I know Jolteon is one everyone's looking for. There's 2 more energies. These are regular. They're not hollow, but that's fine. They look really cool. If we draw up some Psychic ones, I'd be really happy. We've got a Paris hiding from the rain there. We've got Swablu, another Team Flare Grunt. Check out that Charizard. Recall, choose one of this Pokemon's attack from its previous evolutions and use it as this attack. And it looks like this is a reverse hollow Charizard. Might be a little hard for Brokettes to see, but there's a bit of reverse hollow right here. Combustion Blast does 130 damage. This Pokemon can't use Combustion Blast during your next turn. At least you don't have to discard any energies as you normally do with the fire types. Choose one of this Pokemon's attacks from its previous evolution, so you can still even use Recall if you wanted to, if you had just used the Combustion. Olympia, switch your active Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage from the Pokemon you move to your bench. That's pretty awesome. And out of that, we've got a Snorlax. Sleepy Press, heal 20 damage from this Pokemon. This Pokemon is now asleep. And if the Pokemon is asleep, you need to get 2 heads as opposed to 1. Not the best. Alright, 2 more booster packs. Come on, Psychic Energy. Alright, so we've got a couple of new ones here. Shroomish. Imakuni, your active Pokemon is now confused. Haunter, Gothic Fear. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may leave both active Pokemon confused. And then Poison Ring, your opponent's active Pokemon is not poisoned. That Pokemon cannot retreat during your opponent's next turn. Beautiful card. Alright, what do we have? We've got a Sylveon EX, Dress Up. If this Pokemon has any Pokemon tools attached to it, this attack does 30 more damage. Precious Ribbon does 100 damage. Move a Fairy Energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. If you do, heal 50 from that Pokemon. And the last one is going to end up being Ninetales EX. Flare bonus, discard a Fire Energy from your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. Fire Blast is 130. Flip a coin if Tails, discard a Fire Energy attached to this Pokemon. Look at that card. I don't think I've seen a Ninetales look like this. They've got all the individual fur rendered on the 3D picture for the Pokemon. It's a beautiful card. I haven't seen Ninetales reprinted quite like this, or printed at all in this form. So that's really awesome. And of course, the Sylveon EX will do well on Fairy decks. One more. I'm really happy with those 2 pulls, though. Those are really, really nice. Psychic Energy, come on. Oh, end up getting Fairy. Those are also hard to find. This one, check this out. Frostless. You remember the Chandelure? The ability is flip a coin. If heads, you take down the Pokemon that knocked you out with it. This one has something very similar. Drag Along. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, Flip a coin if heads, the attacking Pokemon is also knocked out. So that is almost like a water version of Chandelure, except the Snowy Drop does 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon as opposed to the 6 from Chandelure. So if I were to build a water deck, I would absolutely put Frostless in there. And what is it? Ends up being a Gyarados. Berserker Splash does 80. This attack does 10 damage to each benched Pokemon. Aqua Tail does 90 base, and flip a coin for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. It does 30 more for each heads. Great pulls, Brokeheads. If you don't know about the Generations packs, definitely check them out. They are available when not sold out, but they're going to be more available now moving forward as they're reprinting more. This is going to be the next one, the Jirachi Mythical Collection. You get 2 booster packs, you get a Jirachi bonus card, and a Jirachi pin. If you haven't seen what they look like, again, check out our unboxing for the Generations packs for Celebi and Mew, both available right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe for future Pokemon Let's Plays, and also for the podcast every week. You can subscribe by clicking below or on the Reasons I'm Broke logo at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Thank you so much for joining us, Brokeheads, and we'll see you next time.